local news channel. Good morning, evening, or night. I'm Caleb Myhill, and I hope you had a fantastic long weekend. You enjoyed your extra Monday off, and hopefully did something fun. Now, I don't know if any of you know this or not, but it snowed last week. I have evidence. Take a look at Whiteface. There's snow on that. That is crazy. See, I'm not a big fan of the cold, but I like the snow, so I'll take the snow, just not the cold. Now, as I was down taking photos of Whiteface, there was this huge jet that took off from our airport. Now, when I say huge, I don't mean like jumbo jet where the wing went over my head like this one, but it was still a really big jet, and it's the biggest one I've ever seen take off at our airport. So I wanted to show it and share it with you, so let's take a look at that. Oh, and audio guy, he's got something for you, so let's go see what he's got to say. So the passing times have changed. Now 11th graders and 12th graders will pass first, and 9th graders will pass last. Mrs. Casey also wanted me to let you know that student drivers should park from the Legends of the Oval sign toward the skate hut. If students will be leaving anytime after 8 a.m., they need to park off to the side of the oval. We have classes using the oval throughout the day, and having drivers on the oval is dangerous, so please park between the Legends of the Oval sign and the skate hut. Back to your regular scheduled program. As many of you know, our awesome movie theater is still unable to open due to COVID restrictions. However, they continue to be a sign of strength within our community. They put up words of hope and humor on their marquee, and I wondered what caused them to do that. So I went to Mrs. Clark, the movie theater owner, and I asked her, why'd she do it?
We did start with messages of hope, trying to give people encouragement that this was going to be a short-term thing. And then when we saw that it was going to be more prolonged, we tried to switch our theme using different movies. We changed the wording and still gave them encouragement, but in a different way. We wanted them to wear their masks. People on Main Street needed to be safe to keep our community safe.
A really cool thing is Mrs. Clark and her family have owned the theater for almost 60 years.
Reg and I bought the theater in 1961. He used to work there as an usher, and they offered it to him, and he was a long time making a big decision, and finally he decided it would be a family affair, and he bought the theater. So from 1961 until today.
You know, with Mrs. Clark having her own movie theater, she's seen a movie or two, but I wondered what her favorite movie is that she has seen inside of the theater.
Favorite movie? That's hard. I have a lot of favorite movies, but sometimes a favorite movie is one because it makes a memory. And after we bought the theater, Reg, of course, knew how to run the machines and be the projectionist. He and I went to the theater one night after we had been working there all day to get it ready to open. And we sat up under the booth, theater, one big screen, remember, and we watched a movie, Gigi.
I remember it well.
And it was a special time for me, so I have to say that's my special movie, Gigi.
Many businesses have taken the time of shutdown as an opportunity to make some renovations to their buildings. And turns out Mrs. Clark has redone a few things.
We had no idea this was going to be a long-term thing. We got a message that at 8 o'clock we weren't going to be able to show our 9:30 show on the 16th of March. And when we saw that it was going to be a little bit prolonged, we had the seats all cleaned in each theater. And then it dragged on. And so we painted the concession, and then it still was dragging on, and there was no hope of opening right away. So we painted the floors in all of the theaters. You know, we had to think about, at that time, we aren't going to have any summer business, so we didn't do any more renovations. Oh, yes, we did. We put up a brand new screen in our big theater, theater number 1, because it had a little hole where somebody had thrown candy, and every time you watch a movie, that little hole would show. So we have a brand new screen in theater 1.
Hopefully soon the theater will be able to open back up, and I was curious how Mrs. Clark is feeling about that and what she's looking forward to.
Having lost all our inventory because of this long period of not being able to run movies, this is going to be just like starting up when we first bought the theater. We're starting from scratch, more or less. I don't know what it's going to feel like to open. We're going to have so many more rules that we'll have to be very, very careful to follow. And I don't know that I'm going to feel comfortable going to the theater and meeting so many people. So that's going to be a big decision for me. Do I go to the theater and meet a lot of people because I want to, or do I stay home and be safe and stay on the outside? So it's going to be a catch-22 to reopen, as far as I'm concerned personally. The theater, we're anxious to open. We can show movies that are produced by smaller film companies. There'll be new product, and hopefully we'll be able to get some new releases people will enjoy.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Clark, for taking the time to answer my questions, and a special thank you to Mrs. Cheryl Megliori and Melanie Megliori for helping to facilitate this interview. Hopefully, we'll all be back inside of that theater soon, watching some awesome movies and eating some of that delicious Palace Theater popcorn, because really, nobody can beat their popcorn. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time, where there'll be more on weather, sports, news, student life, you name it. Maybe they'll be on here. It's going to be great.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very